Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. I hope you've got some questions about the Greenville area because that's what I'm here for. My business is helping people move in and around Greenville and to Greenville from around the nation and even from outside the nation. So if you've got questions, feel free to drop them in the comments as we go. If you're watching this as a replay later, feel free to still ask questions, or if you need a quicker answer, you can reach out directly, phone, text, email, whatever it takes. Get a hold of me. Happy to talk about Greenville almost anytime. So let's jump right into the 4 most asked questions about Greenville, South Carolina. Number 1, what is the cost of living in Greenville? So great news if you're considering moving to the area from outside of the state, the cost of living in the Greenville area is terrific. It's 8 to 10% lower than the national average. And as you can see there on the next bullet point, a lot of that is going to be that our house prices are lower than average. The median house price around the Greenville area is hovering around the middle of the 300s, 363 according to Redfin. Now, that can be, of course, a little higher if you get right in the middle of downtown, and it's going to be even a little bit lower if you get to the far edges of Greenville County. You know, your spaces like the top of Greer or the bottom of Fountain Inn. Now, you're also going to save a little bit on groceries. You're going to save on healthcare. The good news there is the healthcare in this area is still really good. We have a lot of specialists in the area. There's a children's hospital, a lot of other things going on. So you're really going to be able to find great healthcare, and transportation costs are low as well. Thanks for a question here. What are pockets of 6 to 700K homes, even suburbs for this price point? The answer is yes. You can be fairly near downtown, places like Overbrook or right outside of Overbrook, Stone Lake. You're going to be able to get in around there. Even Gower Estates probably can still get in around the top of the 6s, maybe the 7s. You get a good sized home in a mature neighborhood. And you'll also get a decent sized lot for that. And if you go out to the suburbs, you're really going to find a lot of availability and newer homes. 6 to 700 in the Woodruff Road area, all along Simpsonville, the bottom of Greer. Really going to be a lot of homes built 2000 or later in that 600 to 700 range, giving you a lot of space if you want it. Now, you can get a really nice luxury home that's smaller, or you can even get in that price range 4 to 5 bedrooms homes with a loft or basement, some extra space like bonus rooms. You're going to be able to get a good size house or a very nice luxury house for that same price range. Now, you can get a little bit of an acreage if you're looking in that price range. You can probably get an acre or two if you go even further out. I'm talking getting out to Fountain Inn, probably the north side of Greer or out towards Easily. That 6 to 700 is going to be able to get you an acre or two with a modestly sized home on it. I'm going to move on to my next slide here. The second most asked questions about the Greenville area: what are the job opportunities and the economy like in the area? Now, good news there as well. We have some significant industry in the area, probably really kicked off 20 plus years ago now by BMW building what has become a really large facility, produces a lot of BMW SUVs right now, and that is in the Greer area. And they've also just completed a brand new battery plant in the area as well, adding another 1,000+ jobs. Another huge employer here is Michelin. Not only is Michelin North America worldwide headquarters, which you see in the middle picture there here, bringing a lot of C-suite jobs, you know, your white collar jobs from around the nation and around the world, because a lot of those employees are international, working in that headquarters. But we also have a lot of Michelin plants in the state. So you're doing probably 11,000+ jobs at Michelin around South Carolina. The largest single employer in Greenville itself is Prisma. Now, Prisma has about 30,000 employees. So you really have a lot of employees in the healthcare, and that probably speaks to what we saw on the last slide: availability of healthcare and the prices being reasonable as well. So let's get into question number 3 on our slides, unless somebody has a question they'd like to ask in the chat, and I can jump over to that as needed. But I'm going to move on to the third slide here. And the third most asked question is, what are the best neighborhoods to live in or areas to live in around Greenville? Now, I'm going to point you towards my YouTube channel, which you've already found. You can watch this playlist on Greenville neighborhoods, and you'll get not only these videos listed here about these specific neighborhoods, but more as well. And feel free to reach out if you have questions about individual neighborhoods as well. I'm happy to talk about each of them. You'll see here as you go down the list, Orchard Farms, this is out in Simpsonville, big neighborhood. Historic Overbrook, this is really where we used to live just about a year and a half ago. Lived there for a decade. Gower Estates, this is where I grew up. That's my third video there. So really sort of hitting the highlights of my transition there. But Gower is a great neighborhood. Used to be considered out of town, now really considered in town. North Main as well, great area. Sugar Creek is one of the largest subdivisions in the Greenville area. So big, it's actually multiple pools in the community. If you join the HOA there, you have to join the HOA, but you do have membership into each of those pools, actually. Quite a benefit. You got several other choices. Best neighborhoods are going to depend a lot on what's important to you. So that's really something to take into account when you're deciding what's going to be the best thing for your family or for you individually. When you're picking a neighborhood or area to live, it's going to be, do you want to be near downtown? What size house do you want? What size lot do you want? Do you want mature trees? Do you want a lot of open space? Are you looking to get a little colder? Do you want more hills and elevation? And we want to go up above 385. If you want things to be flatter, more spread out, get a little bit more space, and not so much risk of snow, just drop down below 385. That seems to be, or down below 85, I'm sorry. That seems to be sort of the line that goes down across the Greenville area and can be a real differential. You're also starting to see an elevation change there. For example, Travelers Rest is 100 feet higher than Greenville itself. Just a few miles out of town. You really start to see that elevation as you go into the Blue Ridge Mountains, go into North Carolina. I got another question in chat here. Is it easy to meet other people in Greenville? Is it easy to get plugged into the community? That's a fantastic question. I was actually speaking to somebody about that yesterday. I had some folks down from Canada. They live in Calgary. So hello to them if they're watching the video. Super nice couple. They're considering coming down here, and we talked about that. It is easy to get plugged into the community and the area if you are going to be outgoing and looking for things to do. Greenville offers a lot to do, a lot of ways to get outside. There are people playing pickleball in the park all the time. A lot of churches in the community. If you're looking for a church, that's probably a great place to get plugged into. Some community centers you can join as well. That can be a way in. And then lots of groups and clubs to get outside. I've got a good friend who goes and does a lot of hiking in the Appalachians. So just a lot of trails there. He meets a lot of people that way. Can be a great way. As long as you're willing to get out there, put yourself out in the community, you can definitely make good friends and make connections around hobbies that you maybe already have or are wanting to develop, as you get out there. So great question. Thanks for that in the chat. Let's keep looking. We're going to go to question number 4. That is, what is there to do for fun and entertainment? Well, I just spoke about some of those things you can do. You can get out into nature. We see that in the bottom 2 pictures there in the little cluster. Both of those are part of the Swamp Rabbit Trail. Swamp Rabbit Trail is 20 plus miles, starts in Travelers Rest up to the north and comes all the way downtown Greenville and then into the southern part of Greenville. And there are portions of the trail that exist now in Simpsonville and a little bit of Fountain Inn, but those don't connect to the full trail itself right now. That's in process of being connected. There are also several spurs that come off of the Swamp Rabbit Trail, really over 25 miles an hour of trail that you can get out there and do in one full connection. And then there's little bonus sections that are still waiting to be connected to the full trail. Easy for biking, hiking, running, jogging, getting out there with kids. Really, everything goes on the Swamp Rabbit Trail. Other things to do for entertainment, big one is that big left picture is the Peace Center. This is the cultural hub of the upstate and has really added a lot here. Les Mis just finished showing at the Peace Center. You're going to see big Broadway shows, smaller Broadway shows coming to the Peace Center all year round, giving you a chance to get out there and get some of that. You're also going to see concerts. This can be classical concerts, some other concerts as well, but it's going to definitely gear more towards that concert hall atmosphere than, for example, the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, which is that top picture on the right-hand side. That's a basketball game there. That is going to be your sports arena. Also going to get your bigger music venue there. So if you're looking to see music coming to the area, that's probably your go-to. Your biggest stars are probably going to miss Greenville. They're going to be more Charlotte or Atlanta. So you're looking at an hour and a half north to get to Charlotte. You're going 2.5 hours south to get to Atlanta to see your truly huge names that are selling out, just huge stadiums, which Greenville does not have. We do not have a pro sports team. So if you're huge into pro sports, you're definitely traveling to watch pro sports from the Greenville area. You'll be up in Charlotte, could be down in Atlanta, but we just don't have pro sports teams here. We have some minor league teams. You can see that in the top left of the picture cluster there. That's Fluor Field. It's right downtown. It is a great atmosphere, super stadium. I will warn you, if you go in the afternoon in the summer, watch out for those seats in the sun. It can be a little hot and intimidating, but if you can get under the awning or in a portion of the park which is not in the sun, you're really going to have a great experience. They keep it lively out there. A lot of things in between innings. There's a playground area for kids. Just a bunch going on, and Fluor Field being right downtown really makes it accessible. You can do things before and after the game. They have fireworks after the game as well. So if you're downtown, you might just catch that here or there intermittently. It can be a lot of fun. Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm going to talk a little bit about the downtown area if not. All right, I'm going to pop off of that. We're going to go over to a map here. Let's see if we can do this. Give me just a moment. Still a good time to get in if you got any questions. All right, hopefully everybody can see the map here. We're going to talk about the area at the bottom left. That little bit of green with the green dot is going to be Fluor Field. We can zoom in a little bit there. So this is in the west end of Greenville, like I talked about it being downtown. I just want to take you through, and you're going to see where these other entertainment venues are. If you go up South Main here, past the Mellow Mushroom, up a little bit, you're going to cross the bridge for the park right here, and then hit the Peace Center. This big complex here is the Peace Center. The concert hall is the largest venue, but there are several venues there, including the outdoor amphitheater, which you see next to the Reedy River. Which really leave a lot of spaces available for shows and productions, and also a great area for some festivals that come to Greenville, like Fall for Greenville has multiple music stages in the Peace Center complex just during Fall for Greenville. So you go up Main Street from there, you can see still it's a little bit of a walk, but still within walking distance over here, Bon Secours Wellness Arena. So just right outside of downtown, that really melds this all together. All these entertainment options are really coming together with the downtown. And part of that is what makes downtown Greenville so fun and so readily usable by all of these events like Fall for Greenville, Artisphere, Euphoria. Just the list goes on and on of the number of things and festivals that happen downtown. This, of course, being pretty much the slowest time of year for things going on outside since it's so chilly right now. I see we still got some people live right now. If anybody's got a question, get it in now. Otherwise, I'm going to probably wrap up this 4 most asked questions about Greenville, South Carolina area. How are schools in Greenville and South Carolina as a whole? That's a great question. South Carolina as a whole struggles a little bit with schools. To be honest, we have some really patchy areas where education is still needs a lot of work. The good news for the Greenville area there is Greenville County is not one of those areas for the most part. Greenville County schools have a great reputation. It is one of the largest school districts in the nation since it does take up the entire county. Unlike neighboring counties, we don't break it down into smaller districts. The only real hiccup I see with that is when there's winter weather in the northern part of the district, it does shut down the whole Greenville County because that snow means students can't get to school in the northern part of the county. So they do have to close the entire county since they can't break it up by the school. That said, individual schools are great. There's a lot of really good schools in the area. There's also good options for homeschooling and private schooling in the Greenville area. So, a lot of choices for schools. Thank you very much for that question. Great one. I think that I'm probably going to wrap it up here. If you've got more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments later, or you can reach out directly. If you're thinking about a move to the Greenville area, I would love to hear from you. My number is 864-607-3537. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, and we can talk about how to make your move a smooth one. Until then, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.